The last train leaves Central Station at 11:47 p.m. After that, the platform's empty, the lights dim, the staff go home, and the station belongs to whoever is still inside. On a Tuesday night in November, a woman sat alone on platform 4, waiting for a train that had already left. She knew it had already left. She was not waiting for the train. She was waiting for the man who had been following her since King's Cross. What she did not know was that someone else in that station was watching them both. Welcome to the unseen hour. Detective Inspector Claire Marsh had been off duty for 4 hours. She had spent those 4 hours at her sister's birthday dinner in a restaurant near King's Cross, the kind of evening she rarely allowed herself. No phone on the table, no checking emails, just wine and food, and the particular warmth of being with someone who had known her since before she became who she was professionally. She left at 11:15 p.m, caught the tube to Central Station for the last connection home. The station was quiet at that hour. The main concourse still lit but emptied of its daytime crowds. A handful of travellers, a couple with luggage, a man in a high-visibility jacket mopping near the ticket barriers. She bought a coffee from the one kiosk still open, walked to platform 4, sat down on the bench nearest the exit, and noticed the woman. She was perhaps 30, dark coat, small bag on her lap held with both hands, sitting very still on the bench at the far end of the platform. Claire noticed her the way she noticed everything, automatically and without thinking about it. Then she noticed the man. He was standing near the platform entrance, hands in his pockets, not looking at his phone, not looking at the board, not looking at anything in particular, except the woman. Claire sipped her coffee, watched. The man shifted his weight slightly. The woman's hands tightened on her bag. She hadn't looked at him directly, but she knew he was there. That hand movement, that particular tightening, was not the movement of someone cold or impatient. It was the movement of someone who had been aware of another person for a long time and was trying not to show it. Claire set her coffee down on the bench beside her. She had spent 14 years reading people in interview rooms and on street corners and across crime scenes. She was rarely wrong. She was not wrong now. The woman on platform 4 was frightened, and the man near the entrance was the reason. Claire did not move immediately. Movement attracts attention. She had learned that early. The instinct to act immediately was usually the wrong instinct. Watch first, understand first, then move. She watched for 90 seconds. The man took 3 steps closer to the woman, stopped. The woman shifted on the bench, a small adjustment, putting another 6 inches between herself and his direction without making it obvious. That decided it. Claire stood up. She walked the length of the platform at a pace that was neither hurried nor casual, the particular pace of someone with a specific destination. She sat down next to the woman, not close enough to alarm her, close enough to be unmistakably present. She did not look at the man. She took out her phone, opened nothing, held it in her hand, then said quietly, without turning her head, "He's been following you since King's Cross." The woman went very still, then, almost inaudibly, "Since Euston." Claire absorbed that. 4 stops. The man had followed this woman across 4 tube stops to this platform. "Do you know him?" Claire asked. pause. "He works in my building," the woman said. "He has been doing this for 3 weeks." Claire looked at her phone as though reading something. "My name is Claire Marsh. I am a detective inspector with the Metropolitan Police. I am off duty, but I am here, and I am not leaving this platform without you." The woman turned to look at her for the first time. Her eyes were the eyes of someone who had been frightened for a long time and had almost stopped expecting help. She said nothing. She didn't need to. Claire looked toward the platform entrance. The man was gone. She stood up immediately. "Stay here," she said. The station at 11:40 p.m. was a different place from the station at rush hour. The same bones, the same architecture, the same tunnels and staircases and concourses. But emptied of people, it became something else entirely. Larger somehow. The sounds different. Footsteps echoing where they had been absorbed by crowds before. The lights casting longer shadows. Claire moved through it, the way she moved through every environment she considered potentially dangerous. Quickly and with full attention. She checked the main concourse first. 3 people visible, none of them the man. The secondary exit, empty. The kiosk, closed now. The vendor gone. She turned toward the service corridor that ran behind the platforms. The door was ajar. It should not have been ajar. She pushed it open with her shoulder. A long corridor. Fluorescent lighting. Doors on both sides leading to staff rooms and storage, and the operational infrastructure of a station that most passengers never saw. At the far end, a fire exit, also ajar. She walked the corridor quickly, pushed the fire exit open. A service road behind the station, poorly lit. A delivery vehicle parked 50 meters away. Bins, a chain link fence, and the man, standing 15 meters from the door. He turned when he heard her. She held up her identification. "Metropolitan Police, stay where you are." He looked at her for a moment, then ran. She was faster. 14 years of early mornings and the particular fitness of someone who had learned that physical capability was not optional in her profession. She caught him at the fence, had him against the chain link with his arm behind his back before he had processed that she was close enough to do it. He struggled once. She increased the pressure on his arm by a precise amount, enough to make continuing to struggle an unattractive option. He stopped. She reached into her bag with her free hand, found what she was looking for, secured his wrist, then took out her phone and called it in. While she waited, she looked back at the station. Through the fire exit she had left open, down the service corridor, through to the platform beyond. The woman was still on the bench, exactly where Claire had left her, watching. His name was Stephen Cole, 37 years old, office manager at a financial firm in the city. No previous convictions. The kind of man whose colleagues would later describe as quiet and professional, and not someone they would have expected this from. They were always not someone anyone would have expected it from. Claire had learned that too. While she waited for the response unit, she searched his phone. She had the legal authority. She had the grounds. She worked quickly and methodically the way she did everything. The photographs came first. Rachel, 3 weeks of them, taken without awareness or consent, on the tube, on the street, outside her building, inside the station. Then the search history, detailed, methodical. Her address, her schedule, her workplace, her social media, everything assembled with the patience of someone who had done this before. Claire kept scrolling. Then she found the folder. It had no name, just a date. 6 years ago, she opened it. 17 women, different faces, different ages, different cities. Each one photographed the same way, without awareness, without consent, followed, documented, catalogued. Claire scrolled through them slowly, then stopped. One face she recognized, not Rachel, someone else entirely. A woman named Anna Carr, 31 years old, reported missing 3 years ago. Last seen leaving work on a Tuesday evening. Case still open, never solved. Claire had worked that case for 4 months. She had never closed it. She looked at the photograph on the phone. Anna Carr, sitting on a platform bench, bag held with both hands. The bench was platform 4, Central Station. Claire looked up from the phone slowly, looked at the station around her, the empty platforms, the dim lights, the service corridor she had just run through. Thought about how many Tuesday nights this man had stood at platform entrances, how many women had sat where Rachel sat, how many had been alone, how many had not had someone sitting down beside them. She looked back at the phone, counted the women in the folder. 17. She made 2 calls. The first to the response unit, still 3 minutes away. The second to the major investigation team, not to report the stalking arrest, to reopen 17 cases, starting with Anna Carr. The response unit arrived at 11:58 p.m. They took Stephen Cole into custody with the particular efficiency of people doing something they had trained for. Claire walked back through the station. Platform 4. Rachel was still on the bench, still holding her bag with both hands. She looked up when she saw Claire, read her face. "Is it over?" she asked. Claire sat down beside her. "For you," she said. "Yes." Rachel heard what was underneath that. She was quiet for a moment. There were others. It was not a question. Claire looked at the empty platform. "We are going to find out," she said. They sat in silence for a moment, the station entirely still around them. Then Rachel asked quietly, "The woman in the photograph, is she?" Claire did not answer immediately. She looked at the platform, at the bench, at the place where an off-duty detective had chosen to sit on a Tuesday night because it was nearest the exit. "I don't know yet," she said honestly, "but we are going to look." Rachel nodded slowly. They sat together on platform 4 until the first response officers came to take Rachel's statement. Claire gave her own statement an hour later, then walked out of the station into the cold November night. The last train was long gone. She called a cab, stood on the pavement outside Central Station, and looked up at the building. Thought about Tuesday nights, about women sitting alone on platforms, about the difference between the ones who were noticed and the ones who were not. Her phone rang. Major investigation team. She answered immediately. They had already found something. CCTV footage from 3 years ago. Central Station, Platform 4, Anna Carr, and a man standing at the platform entrance, hands in his pockets, watching. Claire closed her eyes for just a second, then opened them. "I am on my way," she said, and walked back into the station. That was the unseen hour, a story about the woman who was noticed, and the question that kept Claire Marsh awake for the months that followed. How many had not been? Most evil does not announce itself. It stands quietly at platform entrances. It watches, it waits, and the only thing that stops it is someone who pays attention. Subscribe to The Unseen Hour. A new story is coming very soon. And remember, pay attention to the people around you, because sometimes you are the only one who can. Good night.